So you'll always hear that the most important part of a fragrance is the dry down. And while that is true, that is the part of the fragrance that you're going to be smelling the most, the opening is also very important. Because how many times have you sprayed on a fragrance for the first time, you smell it, and you immediately scrub it off or don't give it a chance because you don't like how it smells up top? Yeah, probably quite a few times. We've all been there. So having something with an interesting, attention-grabbing opening really does help out. And today we're going to be going over 10 fragrances that open up with a bang. These start off with a punch. They're not dull, they're not boring, they don't just kind of go out into the universe when you spray it and just flop, right? These really have some punch. They have a really nice head-turning effect. So when putting together a video like this, one thing comes to mind, and we'll just put it up front and center: Spicebomb Eau de Toilette. I mean, come on. You can't think of a head-turning, attention-grabbing opening without thinking of good old Spicebomb Eau de Toilette. Everything from the look of the bottle to the marketing to the actual scent itself has really caused this one to blow up, and of course now we have a whole bunch of flankers. Still, I have a lot of love for the original. Let's just experience this together. I'll spray some your way. Get some over there for you so you can smell it too. I mean, that opening is incredible. Cinnamon, tobacco, whole bunch of spiciness. It smells awesome. I mean, there's a reason why this stuff is what it is today. That's because I did a killer job on it. It's hard not to notice this when you spray it on. It's hard not to kind of just go like, ooh, do a double take, be like, oh man, did you just hit me with that Spicebomb? Because if you hit someone with the Spicebomb, they're gonna know it, and they can't hide it. They can pretend, but they can't hide it. Next up, Light Blue Forever by Dolce & Gabbana. Grapefruit, violet leaves, ozonic notes are some of the main notes here. This is the next big thing from the brand, in my opinion, or at least from the Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue lineup. This flanker is hands down incredible. And what makes the opening of this one so good? It's that grapefruit up top. It's a rindy, sour, tart, fresh grapefruit note. You can't miss it. And you can go back and watch my first impressions on this fragrance as well. And, you know, that was the very first time me smelling it, me experiencing the opening. And you can see right there, live on camera, like, it took me by surprise in the best way possible. It caught me off guard, but it had me hooked, and it made me keep coming back for more. Finished off that video talking about it. I continued to test it. I did a full review on it, and throughout summertime I continued to wear it. If the opening of this one would have sucked, well, I may not have been inclined to test it and give it much more of a chance, because there's a lot of other light blues out there, a lot of which aren't that good either, so this may have gotten lumped into those. But because this one had a killer opening and it managed to stay incredible into the dry down, this really did well for me, and it's going to do very well in the community. Up next, Armaf Club de Nuit Intense Sillage. I've done a couple videos on this one, first impressions I believe, and also a full review here recently. And I've given it a lot of attention because it's a really, really good scent. For those who are unaware, it's a clone of Creed's Silver Mountain Water. Blackcurrant, bergamot, and ambroxan are some of the key notes, and you get hit with that blackcurrant, bergamot up top right in the opening. So it's a bit fruity, it's tart, it's juicy, it's fresh, it's vibrant. This is a big head turner. I mean, the opening is really what has me hooked. Same with Silver Mountain Water. And this was able to capture that very well at a fraction of the price. If you want an alternative of Silver Mountain Water on the cheap, this one here, in my opinion, is the best out there. And if you want more information on this, I have it on my channel. There's a good possibility that, depending on where you live, it can be hard to get your nose on all of these first, to try them, to sample them. I know for me, for example, there just aren't too many places around me, and so I don't really go anywhere to smell things like this, to try it first. One of my main goals here on the channel is to provide you with as much information, so going into something like this, if you were to approach any of these as a blind buy, you would have as much information available to you from my perspective. And of course, this is all subjective. However, there are companies out there that make this process much easier, like Scentbird, which is why they are the sponsor of this video. Scentbird lets you choose a new fragrance to try each month for only $16. Every month you get to pick exactly what you want, so there are no surprises. You're not going to get stuck with anything that you may not be into. And it's not just a little small rinky-dinky sample dabber that you get for free from random websites sometimes. It's 8 mils, so this is a 30-day supply or more depending on how often you wear it. I got Morning After by Confessions of a Rebel. I got Aqua de Parma Colonia Club. I got Eldo Exit the King, which is a new release, by the way. Artisan by John Varvatos. And Tommy Bahama Maritime. Obviously, this is how they come. You guys have probably seen this before. pops up like that. So it's easy to stick in your pocket, stick in your gym bag, stick in your purse, and it's not going to get broken or damaged. And what's awesome about this is each month that you get your fragrance, they send you a handy dandy card. So this one here is for Exit the King. It gives you the note breakdown and all that good stuff on the back, along with a description of the fragrance. This is next level stuff, and this is what makes this service so powerful. You have all the information at your fingertips each month to try something new and discover your new signature scent. And by the way, out of all of these, Exit the King is one of my favorites, and actually this one right here could be featured in this video of having a great head-turning, eye-catching opening. So if you want to start discovering a brand new fragrance every single month, make sure you hit the link down below and use my code for 30% off. That'll make your first month only $11. And if you pick from many of the higher end brands that they carry, that $11 for a 30-day supply is a steal. And even $16 a month for a 30-day supply is also unheard of. All of these choices that I picked up were fantastic for super versatile wearable scents, and it's cool to get some niche and indie brands in there as well. So you can really discover a lot. Thanks again to Scentbird for sponsoring this video. Make sure you use the link down below along with my code for 30% off. Get that first month for 11 bucks. That is an absolute steal, and you should take advantage of it. Like, no, for real. Just take advantage of it, okay? That's what I'm here for. Next up, we have Le Male in the navy. Mint, sea notes, and vanilla are some of the main notes. Another one that's an absolute killer, man. The opening on this, oh man, that is so good because you get that vanilla up top. And so it's a mixture of sea notes, mint, like a green, watery freshness, and then a creamy, kind of syrupy, dense vanilla underneath. The opening of this is just incredible, and I love that combination. And also, for the record, the dry down is also really good. In the navy, doesn't get talked about all that much, but definitely should. This is a really, really nice flanker. More suitable for spring and summer, but because of that added vanillic sweetness, you can wear it into fall as well if you're craving a fresher scent for, a cooler fall day. Next up, we have Yves Saint Laurent Y Eau Fraiche. Not Eau Fraiche, Eau Fraiche. Remember that. Lemon, ginger, and mint are some of the main notes. So another one that's going to be fresh, sparkling from the ginger. Nice citrusy, fresh lemon. This has a frosted, sparkling smell. Okay, like think of like a lemon drop frozen drink at a fair. Think of something like that. Think of something that's nice and cool and refreshing on a super hot day. That's what this is. There's like a sugary sweetness to this as well, which is why I'm kind of comparing it to like a lemon drop shake up thing, whatever you get, that's ice and lemon and sugar and very not healthy for you. But hey, it tastes great and it's refreshing on a summer day, so who cares? And it's kind of the same with this, except I wouldn't taste it. The opening is awesome. Really enjoy it, and with this one in particular, the opening is kind of my favorite part. The dry down is good too, don't get me wrong, but there's something about the opening that just makes me fall in love with it. Next up is Scent DNA, which is very close to my heart. Kilian Apple Brandy on the Rocks. So this is one of the newest from this, the liqueurs line, I believe is what it's called here with this style of bottle. They released 2 at a time, the first time and this time as well. And so for those who are aware, this is essentially like a flanker in a way, just from a different line, because Apple Brandy exists in the original Kilian line. This here is kind of a bit of a lighter, more subdued take at it, but it's still very rich, very sweet, very syrupy, and super photorealistic. The name says it all. That's all you need to know. What are the notes of this one? Apple and brandy. That's it. Call it a day. Yeah, well, actually, the notes are rum, cardamom, pineapple, ambrox, and then cedarwood, but you get what I'm saying. It's smooth, it's warm, it's inviting, it's a bit spicy, and this opening is guaranteed to get your attention and have you hooked. Next up, we have Dunhill Icon. Neroli, bergamot, and black pepper are some of the main notes. This is kind of known as the grape soda smelling fragrance. You've heard that before. If you haven't, you're probably thinking, okay, what could this possibly be about? Something that smells like grape soda, seriously? But yeah, if you smell this up top, it's kind of hard to forget about. It's the way the neroli is mixing with the citrus, it's floral, it's a bit spicy, it's very sparkling, very fizzy, really nice style of scent. This here is masculine, it's classy, it's upscale. This is something that a lot of you guys would like if you haven't smelled it already. Starting to work our way down to the end here, Bentley for Men Silverlake. With a name and a bottle like that, You expect greatness, and well, that's what you get here. Lemon, mint, and violet leaf are some of the main notes. If you haven't smelled this, it kind of has a similar thing going on to something like Acqua di Gio Profondo / the original Acqua di Gio. Aquatic, fresh, ozonic, airy, light, citrusy, that sort of thing. But this one does have its own character as well, so it's not like a dupe of those. If anything, it kind of bridges the gap between Profondo and the original, but then also adds just a bit more of like a clean muskiness in the base of this one. So it does have its own twist here. It opens up nice and green and bright and fresh and citrusy, and it keeps you hooked into the dry down. This is a great compliment getter as well, and I find it to be a really nice mass-pleasing scent for someone who wants something very wearable and something that everyone's going to get along with. Let's switch genres here just a little bit because we have been going down the fresh path. Let's go with this one. Hugo Boss The Scent Private Accord. Coffee, cacao, and manica fruit are some of the main notes. Another one that's fantastic here. This one here is amazing to me because it's kind of powdery. You get that coffee, you get that manica fruit in here, which really sets this one apart because that note isn't used all that often. The cacao gives it this dusty, powdery, chocolatey type of smell. You almost might think that there's a tonka bean in here, and maybe there is, because that's kind of how it comes across as well. Powdery, sweet, smooth, kind of earthy in a way from the coffee beans. This is a really unique creation from a brand which you would maybe not expect it from. Hugo Boss makes some great fragrances for sure, but some of them are, just kind of out there, and that's about it. But this one will have you hooked right off the bat. When I first got this in and I tried it for the first time, I was impressed, and I wasn't expecting to be. So if you want something that is different and unique from a designer brand for fall and winter, and you don't want to spend a whole bunch of money, check this one out. And last up, back to that aquatic trend, but it had to be in here, Missoni Wave. Sea notes, orange, citruses are some of the main notes. The atomizer on this is absolutely incredible. It's got a magnetic cap. It's got a heavy bottle. This is custom presentation, by the way, not a stock bottle. Very nice. And this isn't all that expensive either. Let's get a close-up here. Come on. Let's do it for the video. Last fragrance of the day. Let's get in there and get some. Look at how good that is. I probably should stop spraying my camera, but it is what it is. It's creamy, it's citrusy, it's fresh, it's airy and light. It smells a little bit like Versace Pour Homme and Chanel Allure Homme Sport. And you're probably like, well, if it smells like two other fragrances, why would I buy this? And I didn't think of that. No, I'm just kidding. It really does have its own unique twist, just like everything here. One way I've described this one is it almost kind of takes the best of both worlds from both of those. So I'll run you through this real quick just because we're at the end of the video. Probably half the people have clicked off by now. Chanel Allure Homme Sport is primarily tonka bean creaminess focused. It's still very fresh and sporty for sure, but it has a creamy, almost sweetness as it's the bulk of the scent, which would make sense because it's a flanker of Chanel Allure Homme. Versace Pour Homme has much more emphasis on the citrus, the neroli, the fresh, bright, sparkling nature. There's not a whole lot of a sweetness or a powdery touch going on in the Versace. And so what do you get from Wave? You kind of get the best of both worlds here. You get a whole bunch of that bright freshness up top, but then some of that heavier richness in the base. I really like this. And again, this is coming from someone who has multiple bottles of the Chanel, and actually I have a couple bottles of the Versace as well. I have no shortage of those. I'm very familiar with them. I wear them all the time in summertime. Sometimes I layer them. And so when I say I like this, that's because I've been around the DNA and I see the differences that this one brings, but I also see that it's shining light on both of those and just doing a really good job of combining everything into one. So yeah, that's my spiel on Missoni Wave. Amazing opening, amazing dry down, amazing fragrance. Buy it. Just like you should buy a subscription to Scentbird. Big thank you again to Scentbird for sponsoring this video. Again, $16 a month for the fragrance of your choice. And look, most of you who are going to be trying these each month are not going to use up all of this in a month, probably not even in a couple months. So you're going to build up just a decant collection like this over time that then you can travel with, that you can explore again. So the possibilities are endless. The fact that they carry niche brands and they carry things that I haven't even tried yet, like the Acqua di Parma and the Confessions of a Rebel, that's pretty cool. Remember to use my code down below and that link for 30% off your first month, making it only $11. You got to jump all over that. So big thank you to Scentbird for sponsoring this video. Big thank you to you for watching it. Big thank you to you for clicking the links down below that take you to these fragrances so you can buy them at a discount, which actually, why am I thanking you? You should be thanking me for linking these. Seriously, use those, grab these at a discount, don't pay retail. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.